The Canon T3i. This camera is over 6 years old now, but I still think it's one of the best first cameras you can buy. Let me explain why. This was my first camera. It shot over 31,000 photographs. It's recorded 7,574 videos since I got it in 2012. It has been beaten up, the wheel sometimes breaks, and even the badge has finally fallen off. I've shot live performances, interviews, weddings, and even short films. I've put this camera through hell, and you know what? This camera is still amazing. If you're looking at buying your first camera, whether that's for making short films, taking photographs, making client videos, or maybe all three, I still think the Canon T3i is the best option to go for. It's currently going second hand for £300 with a kit lens, which is an absolute bargain for what it can do. Some of you might be reluctant to buy second hand equipment, but filmmakers take care of their kit, and the kit they are willing to sell is the kit they have made sure is in good condition. If you're just getting serious about making films, then spending your entire budget on a single camera will be your film's death sentence. What you can do with the money that you'll save buying this camera, you can put that towards a decent tripod, some lights, and some sound equipment. Here's what this camera can do. It has an 18 megapixel sensor. It records 1080p at 24 frames per second, and can shoot slow motion at 60 frames per second at only 720, but don't let this put you off. It has a flip out screen which is great for framing and focusing when you're unable to stand behind the camera. The batteries last longer than most, and if you want to add more juice, you can attach a battery grip to it, giving you 2 in 1. It uses AF mount lenses, which means you have instant access to the entire Canon lens range, going from really cheap to super premium. Now that this camera has been out over 6 years, there are about 1 billion and 1 tutorials, guides, tips and tricks out there for using this camera. People have actually wrote a program you can install on your SD card which unlocks more features onto the camera than you previously would have. Some of our favourite features are focus peaking, zebras for exposure, a built-in intervalometer for shooting time lapses, and even framing guides if you want to shoot with cinematic bars. Compared to dedicated video cameras, being able to change to photograph mode and snap photographs is another massive feature, especially for entry level and graduate filmmakers. It shoots at 18 megapixels, which is really great for web and really decent for printing, so you have the potential to start a photography business or, on the side, raise money to help you buy more filmmaking equipment. I've shot on this camera for over 4 years now, and I know it like the back of my hand. Now I've covered all the features, let's talk about the limitations of this camera, but also how to beat those limitations. With this camera being over 6 years old now, comparing its sharpness to something more modern, you'll notice that it's quite soft. Surprisingly, adding a little sharpness in post can help your footage pop. Here is a side-by-side comparison of using the Unsharpened Mask plugin from Premiere Pro. The low light performance of this camera is its biggest limitation, but because of this, it forces you to add more thought into your lighting and camera settings. In a way, it's a good thing for a beginner filmmaker because it forces you to shape your light and improve your cinematography. From my experience, don't push the camera's ISO past 800. So instead, find a way to add more light. I promise you, you can get great looking images from this camera, even in low light. You just need to feed it, but it craves light. As technology improves over time, there has been newer additions in the lineup like the T4i, the T5i and the T6i. The T6i has a much better video autofocus, and they've even added a touchscreen, but the quality of the video is the same as the T3i. So if you're a young filmmaker and you want to upgrade from shooting on your phone, or you're a recent graduate and you want to add a camera to your filmmaking equipment, go for the Canon T3i. Even after 6 years, it is still the best first camera you can buy. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what your first filmmaking camera was, and if you want to watch our short film Corpse, which was shot entirely on the T3i, it's on screen now.